Alright, welcome guys. I know I haven't been uploading videos in a while. Mm, I haven't been feeling the best. But today I figured I'd give you a different kind of video. I'm going to be explaining to you how to really get that realism shading going on. Because believe it or not, the vast majority of us have been shading wrong, including myself. So that's enough of that. Let's get to it. As you guys can see here, I have a few things already on my computer. And you're probably wondering what they are. So let me go ahead and explain. Most of us believe that when we're shading, you get your midtones, your dark tones, everything in between, and then of course your highlights and bright lights. And that's great. But sometimes when we're doing that, we still feel like it's not quite what it could be. Why? It's because we've been shading wrong. Now, let me explain a little bit. All right, we all know that when light hits something, it'll be at its brightest. Hence, it'll be the zero incline. Yeah, I'm gonna explain to you how just the slightest incline can affect the percentage of actual light you're getting. At zero incline, we're getting direct light from above. We got 100% light. And this is 0% incline, okay? We got 100% brightness going on. Now, what do you think what would happen if that incline was, say, 10%? What do you think the amount of brightness and percentage would we be getting? Go ahead and pause the video if you need to and take a guess. Alright guys, it's going to be kind of funny because at a 10% incline, we are getting 99% brightness. I know, right? Mind blowing. You'd be like, wait a minute. But we're still experiencing 99% brightness. Yeah, crazy, huh? I'm going to go back to this picture here and use it as an example. If you notice, this is the angle the light is hitting. And here on the nails is a perfect example. When the light hits, as you can see, it is very bright. But if we zoom in, there is only this slight middle part that's as brightest, and then it kind of fades out just a little bit. I know it's hard to see, but if you train your eye well enough, you're able to distinguish those minor changes in light. And that's where that little 99% comes in. And it slowly wanes as that incline comes down to the point where there is an incline and there's no light hitting it. Now, what do you think the amount of light would be at a 20% incline? Did you take your guess? Well, it's at 97% brightness. Crazy, right? It hasn't gone down much. But it only gets weirder. Take a guess at a 30% incline. Do you have your answer? If not, pause the video, take your time and think about this. And the answer is 94% brightness. Crazy, right? We're already at a 30% incline, and the brightness is still at 94. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, how is that possible? So have I been shading this wrong this whole time? Yeah. But if you master this, your shading levels will explode. Your art will transform. And you will be mind blown at what you can do. Now, let's get moving and continue on with this. Okay, at 40% incline, again, you can pause the video and take your guess, but I'm just going to go ahead and show it. At a 40% incline, it's 89%. Hasn't gone down a whole lot. But this is where things start dimmering down a bit faster at 50% incline. Here is at 0, okay? At 90 would be a flat. Right now it's 50, so it's close to a 45 degree, so you can understand. You're still getting about 82% brightness from that light source. And as you can see, here's the scales. So you can kind of start distinguishing that brightness as it's going down. At a 60% incline, you're getting about 73% light. Crazy. It's still pretty bright. You're like, what? And there's only so much left till you reach that 90. At 70, it drops down to 62. Now it's starting to drop sharply. And then we move on to 80. It's down to 45% brightness. This is where those shades start coming in to get that natural feel. And finally, when you reach that 90% incline, it drops all the way down to 0. Insane. Look at these. Look at these. This is why sometimes when we're shading, we feel like we're doing great, we're doing good, it looks fantastic, but then at the same time, we're not completely satisfied with it. We feel like it's looking real, but not like the actual thing. And that's because that's the way light behaves. In actuality, it behaves in this pattern. Where as you can see, it's not what we expect, right? So if you take this into account when you're doing your shading for anything, for example, let's say you have your scale here. Open this for an example. Let's say you pick blue. And your brightest will be here. Okay, that would be your brightest. You'd have to, at first, you'd have to mathematically do this or kind of feel it. Get your percentage going. Let's say you decide that, well, like we said, this will be our brightest. And let's say we decide here will be our darkest. You'd have to kind of measure what the percentage of each would be. Like, let's say this would be your 50%. And so on and so on. If you can manage to master this while you're doing this, your art level will exponentially increase. And you yourself probably won't believe the results. This is how a lot of artists, especially the artists that know that this is the correct way to shade and how light acts on things, that's how they're able to get that extreme realism where you can depict whether it's actual digitally or traditionally painted, because it looks so real. So imagine you take your time, you practice it, you start to see that little bit of difference. The biggest challenge will come here, where you have to learn to do this right here, especially for traditional, where you use your acrylics, your oils, your mixed medias to get that realism. Why? Because when it comes to painting, traditionally, the slightest tint of any color drastically changes that brightness to a vastly darker color. Let's say we have a pure white and we add like a dot of red, and we want to say that's our brightest color. We add another dot of red, it won't go from 100 to 99. You'll probably get something like around here without meaning to. So it becomes really hard to control that brightness, that color, that shading. As opposed to digitally. I mean, digitally we have this. We literally have the options, the numbers to gauge what percentage we're shading at, that brightness that we're giving objects. We have more flexibility and control at an easier means than would be traditionally. But if you master this, when you gauge at a traditional painting, you can probably expect a whole lot better results. And this here, to me, is the number one tip I can give you guys to increase your level of art, take it to that next level, and really make it pop, make that realism shine. Of course, if you master realism, you can probably draw and paint just about anything. I hope this was a very helpful tip, guys. Eye opener, because when I learned this, it sure was for me. I was like, wait, what? But now that I've been learning this and I've been putting it into practice, I've noticed my art is getting so much better, you guys. I will probably start doing a video on an actual painting I'm working on. Or better yet, I'll start on a brand new painting and show you guys how I apply some of these techniques or this number one tip into the painting. Now, I don't have the best software and hardware to record videos, so it could be a challenge and it could be a while before I upload it because, as you're traditional painting takes time, especially good painting. So it'll be a time lapse, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to compact the content so it's not too long, because if it's long, it's gonna get boring. Or if you rather, guys, you have me break it up into parts, like part 1, part 2, part 3. This way you have a better view of what I'm actually doing instead of, just watching me do it really fast because the video is sped up like 10 times. I could do that. This way you have a better understanding of what I'm doing, what I'm applying, the techniques I'm using, and how I arrived at those results, and you'd probably be able to learn a lot better. But again, I'll let you guys decide. Just comment down below. Let me know which options you want me to do, or what else you want me to teach you, or some other questions you might have, and I'll be happy to answer them when I have time and get that video rolling, or pick amongst those the ones that's mostly requested. But again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get that little bell notification. So as soon as I do have that video, you guys are the first to find out. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this and you actually found this tip to be mind-blowing just the way I did. Alright guys, you have a good day.